Hello there. Today we're going to be taking a look at Padlet because they just released an update that will allow you to create a board automatically and add it to your Blackboard course. So I'm going to start by creating a board. We're going to call this Classroom Introductions. This is a very common way that people use Padlet at Grand Valley. I'm not going to go over creating the board right now, but if you are interested in that or you need to set up an account, we do have a knowledge base with lots of documentation on how to use Padlet, and that can be found at services.gbsu.edu. Underneath the e-learning page, there is a Padlet category. Let's head back to our board. And the main thing I want to show you now that we have our board created is that underneath these three dots, the meatball settings, the more Padlet actions, there is a gradebook option. And the first thing I want to point out before we actually put this in Blackboard is that there is a max score, and you can adjust this to whatever you want, and you can change it later if you want to. But just know that whatever it's set to here is going to be what Blackboard initially pulls it in as. So let's just set that to 1. And then let's head over to Blackboard to actually create a Padlet board. So we're going to head over to our content. You can see I've already got one here. Let's go ahead and delete that and make a new one. We're going to add a content item by clicking on the circle with the plus and then going to Content Market. Content Market is where all of our third-party tools live, and it is listed alphabetically. So under the P's, we'll find Padlet. And the main change here is just this one setting right here, Create Gradebook Entry. By default, it's turned on, but if you don't want to grade your Padlets, you can check it and turn it off. You'll see all of your Padlets here as long as you set up your account following this information on the knowledge base. There's my Blackboard site. So we're just going to add the Classroom Introductions board that I just created. You can see it's now in our Blackboard site. And there has been a gradebook column listed as 1 point, just how we had it set up. You can change a lot of these settings in Blackboard underneath the meatball settings in Edit. So if you want to change the maximum amount of points, you can do that right here. You can also add a description and all sorts of other things related to assignments in Blackboard. Let's test this out now that we have it set up in our course. So I've got my student account pulled up. Let's head over to Courses and add a post to this Padlet board. Again, this is in my student account. So we're going to create a post right here that says, "Hi, I'm Noah. I like fish and video games." That's my introduction to this class. Again, the board's called Classroom Introductions. I just set up. And that's it. Now we've made our post. Now, the really cool thing about adding this into Blackboard is you will get notified of an email in the form of an email when somebody makes a post on your board. And if you don't want to get these, you can update your notification settings right here in this email as well. But let's go ahead and update this post or open this post to see what it looks like. We can see the post right here. We can add a comment and a ton of other Padlet settings that are covered in some of the other knowledge bases. But let's head over to the gradebook to see what it looks like when we're grading. You can see this page has changed. There's now a setting, Sync Grades to LMS. Make sure you toggle that on. That's what's actually going to allow you to gain access to the Submit button to send these grades from Padlet to Blackboard. Now underneath here, really easy to add grades. All you do is punch a number in right here where the score is. You can add feedback if you want to, and by clicking on it, it'll show you the post. This is one I have pulled up that has a few more posts on it. So you can see if I click on any of these are all tests, test posts that I made. If you click on any of these, they'll show up here along with any comments that have been added. Let's head back to that original board. So now that we have graded our post, we're ready to send this to the LMS, to Blackboard. Let's go ahead and hit Submit. Once it finishes syncing to the gradebook, it'll tell you when it's last synced. And then if we head over to the Blackboard gradebook, we'll see that it has posted the grade for this student. And depending on how many grades you're adding, it'll post all of them at the same time after you click that submit button. And that's pretty much it. Really, really easy to grade Padlets now, and this video is just showing you how to do that.